Hello my friends, Grim here. I hope you're well. Thank you for watching another Diablo 2 Resurrected video, once again featuring the Wind Druid. We are on day 2 of the 22 Days of Terror, a holiday special, and I thought it would be cool to document some of this in the form of some gameplay. So basically, every day they're changing the way terror zones work, I guess. At least that's how it's gone so far. And as you can see, as we speak, the corrupted tremors fade from City of the Damned in a River of Flame, and they strike Pit. And that's nothing new, really, but what is new, in this 24-hour cycle anyway, is that every 15 minutes the terror zone changes. So we're going to do a quick gear check to show you what I'm rocking as we play the Wind Druid through a wide variety of terror zones. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to try to keep this brief because I did cover my gear extensively in my most recent video, the mediocre gear video, in fact. I'm mainly going to just breeze through it quickly and cover some changes. First to note, we are level 89 now. We also no longer have our resistances quite capped as a result of some of the item changes that I've made, but that's okay because we've got a bigger life pool than ever, and we're a Cyclone Armor character, so I'm not as worried about capped resistances as I would be with most characters. 287 gold find, 183 magic find, and we've hit that faster hit recovery breakpoint exactly, still 63%, and 105 faster cast rate. These aren't like GG levels, but they have reached acceptable thresholds. And as far as our items are concerned, still rocking a low-rolled Heart of the Oak, a perfect topazed Shaco, a perfectly rolled Spirit, at least for FCR and Magic Absorb, not for mana, but that is okay, and a decent skin of the Viper Magi. We're trying out a new amulet. It's +3 to elemental skills and replenish life 7 as opposed to the old one, which gave us +2 and a lot of other modifiers, but the main modifiers that were good were fire resist, which we're already capped on without it, and plus to mana, which was 41 to mana, I believe, and that will be missed, but not really as much as it would be because we found a Trang Ul's Girth. This is not really in the top probably 2 or 3 best in slot options even for power, but it's better for power than Gold Wrap, which is what we were wearing before. Gold Wrap's MF and GF, of course, will be missed, but this replaces our lost mana from the amulet that we were wearing before, and then some. It also adds 5 to replenish life, 66 to life, and cannot be frozen. In addition to some other things, but those are the modifiers that really matter. We're still rocking Chance Guards for some good magic and gold find buffs, still got Alder's Advance for that lack of mobility really being made up for by these boots, along with the plus to life and fire resist, which are its biggest selling points. That said, we have also found Naja's Puzzler, which is now on swap instead of Blade of Alibaba, and this will give us a ton of mobility in the form of teleport in certain areas anyway. I'm not going to teleport everywhere with this because I just, this is just kind of for teleporting through areas that we don't want to farm, right? Noggle Ring, very low roll, still on our right finger, or I guess that'd be our left, our right, character's left. And we found Wisp Projector, which is an upgrade over our previous rare ring, which was not doing all that much for us. 20 Lightning Absorb, 20 Magic Find. These are the biggest selling points here. We've got a variety of charms, most of the same ones you might have seen the other day. The big change is Geed's Fortune, which we have never had until now. And that's obviously very, very useful in a wide variety of ways. It's going to help us move away from the gold wrap and not miss it as much. And the other high points of this are a relatively low-rolled Hellfire Torch and a nice 2013-10 Annie. Our loyal Durga is still rocking Vampire's Gaze, but instead of Sazabi's Ghost Liberator, we now have a Smoke for the body armor, which again is not very top tier, but it is, I think, an upgrade. He seems more survivable than ever, and he also seems a lot more effective than ever with the Reaper's Toll replacing a double Am Bone Hew. The Bone Hew was a high roll, the Reaper's Toll is a low roll, neither one is or was ethereal, but the mere fact that we're casting Decrepify all the time means that his power and our Tornado's killing power is absolutely off the charts when Decrepify is live compared to what it used to be, even though his individual damage that you see here is lower than it was before. After playing with this for just a few minutes, there's absolutely no question that the Reaper's Toll, even non-ethereal, even non-socketed, even as a low roll, is definitely a nice upgrade. So those are our items, my friends. Let's see if we can get into the pit before those tremors recede. Monster density in general, and unique density and champion density in particular, has been crazy. We've probably fought a dozen unique and champion packs on the way to the pit and in the pit so far as we approach level 2 here. No drops to write home about, sadly. First thing I've picked up there is that topaz, but still, love to see it. We enter level 2 as the corruption begins to fade. Let's see what we can see here. Not as densely populated of a level 2 as you might sometimes see, but still some things well worth killing. As we miss the tornado repeatedly, there's a unique drop, a winged axe, interesting. And a shale rune. I should also have mentioned here at the, well, I should have mentioned at the beginning, we'll mention it here now. Our tornado is now a bit stronger than it used to be, ranging from 4358 to 4601 in damage. Hurricane is consistently over 2000 now, no matter what, capping out at 2129. And apologies once again, as with last time, for the slightly lower visual quality, but playing online while recording just seems to tax my resources a little bit too much to bring it to you in the highest definition, but we're still looking cool, I would say. Anyway, let's see what spawns for a Terror Zone after the pit. The corrupted tremors fade from the pit and strike Lost City, Valley of Snakes, and Claw Viper Temple. Interesting. Let's do it. That drop was Lacerator. Really interesting looking item, seems to be relatively desirable, but unfortunately we've got quite a low enhanced damage roll on it. Not bottom of the barrel, but scraping it. Champion unique greet us right away. Love to see that. Dark Elder, the main man, dropping a Lum rune. Wonder what Dark Elder's backstory is all about. Does he have a Wikipedia page? I am intrigued. Not too much else to write home about in the Lost City. Pretty easy area, didn't encounter any cold or physical immunes. Let's see what the Claw Viper Temple has to offer. I will say that I do feel the mana situation for this character is much improved, having made the changes that we made. Definitely noticeable, not that it was terrible before, but we'll take it. I don't know if you saw that, but the Decrepify proc made that unique go down almost instantaneously. Took us, you know, a solid few seconds of everybody focusing him to get him to half-life because he was cold immune and stone skin. And then as soon as Decrepify hit, boom, he just kind of exploded. Also, more generally, the Claw Vipers themselves being immune to cold. They beat you up a little bit. Not that they're threatening my character's health pool, really, but that they are, you know, just kind of putting me into hit recovery, knocking me back, slowing me down a little bit. And that's interesting with the time constraint, because I cleared Lost City more thoroughly than I normally would, trying to take full advantage of the Terror Zone. But now I'm feeling the time crunch. Will we get to level 2 before it expires? We'll have to find out. Alright, we get there right as the corruption begins to fade.
Impossible.
Not too much to write home about there, just a few flawless gems, yeah, I don't play Amazons at all, but looks like a pretty good leveling javelin for a Javazon. And, of course, the Lum Rune. Monster density and unique and champion density, both about a medium there. Cool area, though. Alright, so next up is Bloody Foothills, which is kind of a miserable area to farm generally, I think in particular for our character. Cold immunes, lots of missiles, poor layout. I think it's thematically cool, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, we're going to do a Chaos Sanctuary run, and if we're lucky enough to have River of Flame and Chaos Sanctuary get terrorized next, then I will just make a new game and do it again. Venom Lords can be a little tricky. They can just kind of focus the wrong thing and you can be in trouble, depending on the kind of exact numbers involved in the form of engagement. The wrong thing can be you, your Merc, or your Oak Sage. In that case, they focused the Oak Sage, and we lost it, and we lost a few wolves. Still wasn't too bad, but if you're sleeping, those are the ones that can get you here in Chaos. Easy peasy. On to Diablo. I like to run past a little bit to reposition my minions, although of course now we can be telestomping with the Puzzler, but I'm not as comfortable teleporting and then weapon swapping yet as I would be just straight teleporting. And one of the worst Diablo drops of all time. Let's go. Easy kill, though. The run is a win, though, because we come away with Emerald Small Charm of Sustenance. Level requirement 32, 11 to life, 11 to poison resist. Not bad at all. Crossed Bazaar, Ruined Temple, and Disused Fane. Interesting, I can do that for sure. I have made a new game, just in case we get another area we don't want to run. We can do Chaos one more time, or in case Chaos itself spawns, we won't have to make a new game then. Or in case they repeat areas in the course of this playthrough, which I don't imagine they will do, but I guess you never know. Into the Ruined Temple we go. This is kind of a fascinating area to me for some reason. All of these small temples in Act 3, Kuros territory, they just really hit it for me thematically, and I don't know if it's because it's kind of unexpected to find stuff like this after spending so long in the jungle, and, you know, thinking of your first ever playthrough, how long you were probably lost in the jungle, and then it's kind of unexpected. Maybe there are some storyline hints, but if you're just kind of jamming the game, it's kind of unexpected, isn't it, to see this city, this ruined city, that you emerge at the end of the jungle into. And then on top of that, the kind of extra layer of surprise when you're down here in these tiny little temples. And the fact that they're really small is mentioned. I don't know, something about them is just pretty thematically cool, if you ask me. So we strike out a bit in the disused Fane. Out here in the Bazaar, I've encountered a few more uniques and champions than I have expected. That said, I still don't know quite how worth it is to farm an area like this due simply to the layout more than anything else. And for us specifically, there are a fair amount of cold immunes, right? But that's what we're doing today. It is the chosen 15-minute Terra Zone, so we'll finish running the perimeter and we'll clear it in full, see if we can get a lucky drop or two. Satisfying as it is to just run around, well, right as my hurricane expires, just to run around and pop these itchies, the only physical immunes are Hellswarm, pardon me. They're not itchies in Act 3, they are Hellswarms. So yeah, as satisfying as it is, and as easy of an area as it is to clear, all in all, this was a bit of a bust. That went so quickly, even after a full clear of a spread out area, that we might as well hit up the Frigid Highlands waypoint, see if we can find anything cool. And it's worth noting that the Bloody Foothills was actually an attractive stop just for Shank himself. I should have at least done that when we declined to fight our way through the siege. The Bloody Foothills. I forgot that Shank is actually part of that and not of the Frigid Highlands. My bad. Okay, Travincal is up next. I don't think this is a very good place for us to farm generally because we are relatively minion dependent, and minions and mercs take a real beating from the Travincal Council's Hydras. But let's try to get as many runs in as we have the stomach for, and the time for, before the corruption dissipates. Combination here of talking and watching my own health bar, and a probably bad engagement led me to lose Durga, but we are able to deal with it anyway as we get mobbed by zealots. Let's go clean up the remainder of the council, and next time, remember that we can teleport now, and maybe try to engage more successfully that way. Alright, this one went a lot better, even though I was, not sure whether I should have teleported again. Smile, Vile Hand, very tanky, aren't you? Alright, no exciting drops really to speak of, but council killed. Alright, that was an interesting engagement. By the end, everything except Durga and the bear is dead. Had to resummon the bear and the spirit a couple times, but it never felt like we were in too much danger that way. Grand Charm, Unique, Soul Rune. And we managed to dodge most of the, just as Torque Ice Fist is dodging my tornadoes. So we too managed to dodge the Hydras. Oh my god. I'm making a mess of the end of this, but the first 2/3 of it was very nice. And we come away with a Cold Rupture with a pretty bad roll, unfortunately. Got a skill shrine for this one, let's go. Should be helpful. Recast Cyclone Armor. My weapon swap was just not happening. Which turns this whole thing into a bit of a mess. Another unique Grand Charm, another Sunder Charm, no doubt. And another relatively tough battle. I mean, like I said, Travincal is not really my favorite place to be with this character at all, but I guess we're making it through, only losing Durga once out of 5 so far. That's the real pain when you lose him, but so far not too bad, despite my messy engagements. Flame Rift with fire resist minus 74, so 15% less bad than the cold one we just found. Alright, I think that was 6, and I think that is enough for me. Could probably squeeze one more in, but let's not and say we did. Corrupted Tremors strike a non-existent level. We know what that means. It's cow time. I don't know why I went to Rogue Encampment. I guess because that's where the purple letters were that tricked me. But of course we go to Stonyfield, because we don't have a Wurtzleg on standby. Gotta get that first. Here you are, Rakanishu. A little further away than I would prefer. He tries to make up for it with a set item drop, but it looks like a low-level one. I don't know my bows very well, but I'm sure we're fine to leave that one behind. Tristram overrun by some uniques and champions, and of course, the mega tank Griswold himself. Entering the Moo farm. I actually forgot to cover the cow level in my What's It Like to Play a Mediocre Geared Windy Druid video. Right away we get another Sunder Charm that drops. And, you know, cows are cows, man. As long as you can at least somewhat handle them, which I think we certainly can at least somewhat handle them, although I don't think we're the best cow-clearing build of all time, then it's hard to beat for sheer monster density, if nothing else. And, you see a pretty good demonstration of that right out of the gates here. That said, they pose a problem for our mana pool because we're choosing to play without Insight and we don't have a few select items that would really improve that, so you don't usually have to spam Tornado anywhere near as much as you do here on the cow level. And beyond that, they can definitely hack down your wolves a bit, and in this case we lost Oak Sage too, so as mentioned, we don't really clear cows with the best of them, but we're here on a terrorized cow level, and we're doing it, you know? You play smart, you're not really going to be in danger. Cow King's going to drop you a set Bone Wand as well. Let myself get hit a few times there by cows, and as you can see, they do chunk you. It's physical damage, as far as I understand it, exclusively, unless you've got like a unique with some kind of elemental damage modifier. But the cows themselves, just like they can take big chunks out of your minions' health, the same can happen to you. Be careful. And with that, we have fully cleared Terror Cows. Our big finds are the Battle Branch Unique Poleaxe, Crack of the Heavens Grand Charm, unfortunately another pretty low roll for this Lightning Resist, and Sanders Superstition. Next up, Corrupted Tremors are striking Jail. I never ever go to the jail. It doesn't strike me as a amazing place to farm, but because I never go there, let's do it and see how it goes. Killing skeletons from outside the cage is pretty satisfying, and this does strike me as the type of place that you should probably be teleporting around a fair amount, but I'm not going to, because number one, as you saw, I'm not used to teleporting with a weapon swap yet. Travincal proved that. Number two, I don't know my way around the jail. It's something I always just kind of go through when I need to for questing, and then never go there again until right now. And number three, we're not really trying to go anywhere super fast. We're trying to clear a terror zone. So, running around from outside the cage, popping skellies, definitely seems like a fun time to me. Also less intense, a nice drop off in intensity after 15 minutes of Travincal runs followed by 15 minutes of scrambling to find Wurt's Leg and clear a terrorized cow level. Alright, this would normally be an unkillable monster for us, Blackheart the Impaler, but Decrepify breaks the physical immunity, and then it goes down pretty quick. Just another example of Reaper's Toll being a pretty serious upgrade for us relative to Bone Hew. That said, we've more or less fully cleared the jail, and we are none the wiser for it. Next terror zone is Outer Steppes and Plains of Despair. Should make for a fun change of scenery. Not a place I often farm, but one that I kind of enjoy playing through usually when I am questing. The one caveat is that sometimes the Act 4 graphics play havoc with my computer insofar as recording is concerned. Usually that's just limited to the River of Flame, but I have had it happen out here for no particular reason as well. Maybe just enough fiery graphics to make it happen. Hopefully that won't be the case, and let's see if we can get a nice yield from this area. See, I'm sure most people would find, or most characters would find, this Plains of Despair combination of Venom Lords and Doomcasters to be absolutely brutal compared to the relatively tame offerings of the Outer Steppes. But you know what? I don't see cold immunes, and we can handle the just relative raw power of these stronger enemies here, especially the Gloam-type enemies with their elemental damage are well handled by our Cyclone armor. So all in all, I think this will be a little bit more fruitful of a hunting ground for us, despite the obvious power level spike. kill us you all pretty quick, but my goodness, that was a scary group. So full clear of Plains of Despair. Seems like it would be a dangerous area for a lot of people, but we handled it okay for the aforementioned reasons, but with absolutely nothing in terms of drops to show for it, best drops being flawless gems, but now we're in for a real challenge and potentially a real treat. Worldstone Keep, Throne of Destruction are the terror zones, and wow, what an intro. What a welcoming party. Let's get into it. Real tough mob here. We've won the fight, we're just now cleaning it up. I think. As I speak, we're still losing some soldiers here. But all these cold immunes make it hard to kind of do our normal thing. Hurricane is just such a big part of what we normally do between the crowd control and the repeated AoE damage. When your tornadoes are literally a hit or miss ability. Oh my goodness, look at this mob. Then Hurricane helps kind of knit it all together, if you will. We got final wave coming here. Which I think Decrepify will make a big difference for, as we've seen with various similar mobs throughout this playthrough. Yeah, I can say with confidence that it has. That was actually a lot easier than it used to be. Alright, let's try for a telestomp engage here. It was successful until he himself teleported. How rude. And then subsequently wrecked our entire team. Wow. Some outplays by Baal here, you have to say. don't think it's worth resummoning the wolves here. Definitely resummoning the spirit, though. Alright, after a sketchy opening few moments, we do take down Baal, and he is just as churlish as Diablo with his drops. What is going on? Alright, next up we've got Darkwood. I'll run around there for a few minutes, and then probably do something else. I don't think that's got enough to justify much more than that. Yeah, some disappointing drops there in the Worldstone Keep, but we did do the whole thing in exactly 10 minutes while teleporting minimally and everything being terrorized, so that's really not too bad. All in all, I'm relatively happy with our performance in a wide variety of zones, including just a for-fun one basically like this. Don't think we've had the right side of fortune with our drop variants, but that is alright, and we have, you know, taken off the gold wrap, so that definitely makes a bit of a difference. Alright, the Darkwood was pretty empty, guys. Even Treehead Woodfist didn't have anything. And I took a little bit of a lunch break, but now we're back to see one of the coolest areas in the game, in my opinion. Dry Hills and Halls of the Dead especially. Not really Dry Hills, but Halls. Let's go check that out. Good place for us to farm. Alright, there's our super chest. Not much dropping besides a unique longbow, but it's pleasant farming. It was nice and quick. We got time to do it again before the terror zone passes elsewhere. This density upon entry is really nice. Few unique packs, no cold physical immunes, a cool looking atmosphere, and a nice, you know, kind of linear path. In addition to some stuff like these bats that you can almost just run by and kill. Definitely a fan of Hills into Halls of the Dead, especially the latter. Consider it a little bit underrated. What is this? 5 unique or champion packs right away? Within the first minute. Definitely pretty cool. Still no drops though, of course. That's just how our day is going today. Alright, no real luck from the chest at the end, but that was fun. Another poorly rolled cold rupture. Cold resist minus 86. Next up we got Stony Field, which I suppose is a good excuse to head there and pick up another copy of Wurt's Leg. And hey, look at that. This time we spawn right by the Cairn Stones, excuse me. Well, nothing useful to be found, really, in the Stony Field after a mostly full clear, but we do find an experience shrine, which makes me want to say, let's just go do cows. Nice density right away to take advantage of the shrine, and I do have to say that the difference between non-terrorized and terrorized, having just about an hour ago done the terrorized version, is very noticeable. Like, our clear speed is just that much better, and obviously the terror zones have their upsides too, but if it's the difference between, like, a respectable and a non-respectable clear speed for you, which I don't think in our case it is, in any given area, I think it's better to always err on the side of kill speed. Clear speed being... Kill speed being a part of clear speed is what I mean to say, so you take into account mobility and familiarity and all that good stuff. I myself, of course, guilty at times of erring on the side of magic find and so forth at the expense of the aforementioned speed, but hey, you know, we're all human. We all have our downfalls, right? And playing here, it's like, okay, as charming as it is to run around Stony Field and Darkwood and places like that, you just see that despite being terrorized, there's not really a comparison with the amount of drops you get and experience and all that good stuff from someplace like cows, so, and a unique, there we go. So, this is not exactly revelatory information, I'm sure, for anybody, but I would say, insofar as the terror zones don't slow you down, and are already spawning in desirable areas, they are amazing. You should not move heaven and earth for the sake of efficiency to do terror zones, no matter what the context. However, the other point here is that this game is ultimately for fun, so if it's fun for you, especially with this 15-minute rotation, to go and hunt down the terror zones and to see areas that you don't see all that often, all the better. Then you have a reason to do so, even if the reason may not strictly outweigh the potential benefits of just doing the normal farming run that you do, right? Either way, I am having fun doing a little bit of everything today. I hope you are too. Overturning a rock, we find a matriarchal bow, unique one right near the end of our run. I don't know my Amazon stuff very well, as mentioned before, but hey, hopefully something sweet. Our uniques from those cows were Bloodrise, a cool starter mace for a paladin, and Bloodraven's Charge, interesting matriarchal bow. Sadly, it ranges from 2 to 4 in terms of buffing bow and crossbow skills. We only got the +2, so even though we're above average with enhanced damage and bonus to attack rating, that is a big miss, getting only 2 on the skills. Well, friends, that was a glimpse into the second day of the 22 Days of Terror, and what a difference a day makes, because although this was fun, and it was a showcase for a lot of different areas and how we can struggle or how we can kind of face roll it with a Windy Druid with relatively mediocre gear, it was not very fruitful, at least compared to yesterday. Been kind of playing a lot lately because I'm home recovering from an ankle surgery, and yesterday, having played a lot less than I did today, absolutely crushed the output that we found today. So just yesterday, I found Trangwell's Girth, the very one I am wearing right now, Dragon Scale, a -55 magic resist Black Cleft Sunder Charm, an Ethereal Blade of Alibaba, a Ravenfrost Ring, a 4 open socket Flail, which I traded for a Pull Rune, and a Superior Diamond Bow, 10% enhanced damage, +3 to attack rating. Not perfect as a base, that would be 15 ED, not 10, but very, very good, which I traded for this Vex Rune. Whereas today, yeah, we kind of found a whole lot of nothing. I think maybe that unique axe early on, I don't remember the name. I want to say Decapitator, that's definitely not it. This is probably better than I initially gave it credit for. I looked it up, the value's decent. Seems to be something that gets used maybe as a weapon swap or maybe just straight up sometimes. And we found a wide variety of Sunder Charms without the greatest rolls on them. Not a ton else, really. Not a ton else, but anyway, hope you had fun, and I will see you for the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.